Let's bring in a good friend of the show, good friend of mine, actually, Ted Nugent. Ted, thank you for joining us. You know, control room, can we put up that full screen of the 10 Republican, I'm using air quotes, Republican senators who sided with the left of the Democrats in the Senate, which is the 60 they need to get by the filibuster to make some gun control. What do you want to say to these gentlemen here, Ted? And a lady.
Well, I got to tell you, Eric, thank God you're on prime time, because you have some prime truth, logic, and common sense. Congratulations, because your monologue just now should be delivered to each one of these traitors, these oath violators in the government, because everything you said is undeniable. The evidence is overwhelming that our government, the court system, these liberal DAs, they are engineering rampant, widespread, violent crime recidivism. It's engineered recidivism. And I think I would like to recommend one time maybe they take a look at the LA County El Monte police officers that were gunned down by engineered recidivistic monsters. We're losing citizens in this country because of a court system that sides with the most evil, dangerous, lifetime criminals, and they literally will turn a mother question about, oral sex being taught to their kindergarten as a white supremacist and a terrorist. So everything you said, it's painful to listen to, because the evidence proves that it's absolutely true. But as I report to you from the arsenal of democracy at the Nugent camp, believe me, Mom and Pop America still celebrate those founding fathers' self-evident truths that God gave us the First Amendment rights and God gave us the Second Amendment rights. And keep means it's mine, you can't have it. And bear means I have a couple on me right now and they're armed. And if you're unarmed and helpless, the liberal Democrat DAs out there are unleashing the most savage demons onto your streets and into your neighborhoods, and they want you to be a victim. That's the only conclusion they can draw. So a big salute to you, Eric. You're really doing God's work here, but everybody should get a copy of your monologue, because the facts are irrefutable, and I live it every day. I promote it every day. I celebrate it every day, but you're doing a great, great job, and I thank you for that, because that truth needs to get out there.
So Ted, you said keep and bear, and there's one other word in there, probably the most important word in that whole Second Amendment. Yep. Shall not be infringed. Not shouldn't be infringed or may not be. Shall. It was very definitive. They're going to need 60 senators to beat the filibuster to do it. John Cornyn from Texas is already getting cold feet. I heard today. He said that it's hitting some bumps in the road. I'm very concerned when they got 10 Republicans. Again, I'll use air quotes, Republican senators who are ready to increase gun regulation in America.
Well, Eric, try this on for size. The guitar player's got some truth, logic, and common sense. I have a First Amendment from God. The Founding Fathers wrote it down in case anybody wanted to play King George. I have my First Amendment rights on U.S. soil, without paperwork, without permits, without licenses. I have my Second Amendment, an individual right from God that the Founding Fathers wrote down. And by the way, somewhere in the Constitution it says, any rights herein not enumerated are up to the states. The Second Amendment is enumerated. It's an American right. It's a national right, without paperwork, without licenses, and without permits. We have so been infringed that now we're facing this celebration of criminal activity. So my friends, I hope my friends join me at hunternation.org. It sounds simple, and the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. But hunternation.org is a clearinghouse, a circling of conservative family wagons to make sure that we vote God, family, country, law, and order. Hunternation.org. We are making a difference, and we're getting people off their ass to make sure they vote for those traditional values and they stop this engineered recidivism.
Ted, we're going to roll a little video of some of the crime that's been going on around the country. And I just want you to weigh in because, in that monologue, I said that the Democrats, the liberal left, doesn't seem to be concerned about it because it fits their narrative. They can show this and make people fearful of guns, but these are bad guys with guns. These aren't the good guys with guns. They forget the part of the narrative. A good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun all the time.
And to my coined phrase of engineered recidivism, every one of these savages have been caught and charged, most of them convicted, but when it comes to the use of a gun, talking about a smoking gun, they catch these guys committing violent crimes and felonies with the smoking gun. And in Chicago, they dropped the gun charges. In New York, they dropped the gun charges. In Baltimore, in New Orleans, in Detroit, they dropped the gun charges, but they think they need to add more gun laws while they ignore the thousands of gun laws on the books. It is clear, Eric, the government is on the side of criminals, and we've got to vote this horror story out come November. But again, if you're not voting, and I know people go, oh, my vote doesn't count. Well, especially doesn't count if you don't vote. We really are making a difference. Look what we did down there in Brownsville, Texas. We turned a blue Democrat zone into a red conservative zone by my Hispanic friends down there because they're sick and tired of the lies, the deceit, the runaway corruption, and the violation of their constitutional oath by all the Democrats and those so-called Republicans whose photos you put up on the screen.
Sir, it's always good having you on, Ted. Motor City Madman, we love having you on this show. You've been a good friend of the show for a long time. Those cops, the El Monte Police Department cops that were killed, we now know, as of today, we know now the shooter was out on bail for a prior firearms violation, which is what we talk about all the time. Put these bad guys in jail. Ted Nugent, thanks for coming on with us.
You bet. Eric, congratulations. You are prime time, buddy.
You too, pal. You too. All right, Ted. Now, by the way, Ted will be hitting the road this summer with the Ted Nugent Detroit Muscle 2022 tour. For all things Nugent, visit tednugent.com. He is the Motor City Madman, and he's awesome.